What I did notice, he wasn't standing behind the knee anymore.
Okay.
And he was standing behind the knee when you guys started trimming him.
Yeah.
And he can stand behind the knee when I trimmed him too sometimes. It just depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with his medial lateral balance. So he was standing beautifully square, cannon straight down through the foot. I was like, okay, this is good. Right now he's a little behind the knee, but I think it's just because he's in here going like,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, that's huge. Just start looking at them out in the field too. What's the resting posture?
Yep.
And you trimmed him this morning.
Yeah, I trimmed these this morning.
Okay, so
Oh, look, this thing happened to... didn't know what to do with that.
yeah, so you had that little crater thing happen too. So you got those little boobs of hard frog, and when you look at the front of the frog or in the middle,
Yep.
right, and then you come and it kind of goes up and it's a point and it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
You did it a little bit. You might get away with it with just the rasp, but you see how I can push on it and it moves? That's just because it's sticking up off of everything else. Yeah, and he's a little threshy.
Yep.
Yeah, if I get in there. Yeah, that's a bit thrush. So we'll do some Artemut on him after we trim him.
Yep.
And yeah, you've got him backed up like right into his white line. Right into his white line. That's crazy. No problem. Maybe a little less. I mean, what you might want to do is you've got your toe backed up
Yeah,
appropriately.
this is the one that you can see I cut right there. I was like,
Sure.
oh, no.
You nipped right there and you're like, may as well blend it in. It's okay. It's what I do. So that's great. So yeah, and because he has sole depth, see the difference between him and your mare? Is smooth, the bowl shape all the way because he has adequate toe callus. So no big deal. He probably walked out just as sound. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so start by cleaning up your frog a little bit. And just little bits, right? Look at the rest of the frog and just see if you can blend that in a bit so that it's not a big point on the back. When the frog is really healthy and they're moving a lot, you don't have much frog to trim, right?
Yeah.
It's when they're living in a turnout situation where they're not walking kilometers a day to where that frog themselves, so we have to help it along a little. And then grab the rasp, smooth it out so that we have a nice open, I'll take the knife, central sulcus that's not collecting debris to create and produce thrush.
Should I do a bit more here?
Yep, you're just smoothing it in so that it's heading down exactly. Because if it's a little pinched crack, things collect. But if it's a nice open valley there, it's easier for things to go in, go out every time he walks. Good, good. And then after we're done trimming him, we'll put some Artemut in there. So because it's a little hairy and gross, let's just...
Should I clean it out?
Yeah, let me get some leverage on that just so I have the right position and I don't cut him. But you see how that was just full of gunk?
Yeah.
Look at how deep it is. Right? And that's just because there was some thrush there. So that's an easy place, an easy pocket for things to get stuck. So I'm just going to take my knife and do the same thing your rasp was doing. And just open it up so that it doesn't become this little cavern for things to get trapped and become more of an issue for him. Okay. That's even a little hairy there. There you go. Okay. When they're a little thrushy and the frog's a bit tender, you don't want to drop them right down on it. I think you're in a good position. We'll just get rid of that little mud flap. You're in a good heel height. You're getting your balance sorted. You think what? Tell me.
I saw that I have that a little too high.
A little bit. And I'm also thinking he tends to lean medially. I think this is a little high.
Okay.
I want you to scope that and look at that yourself and just see what I saw. And I think you've just got a little bit of lateral height to take. Just a bit. Can you see it? You're like, nope. Trickiest part.
I know, it's actually the hardest part. I'm just looking at
It's the
them
hardest
like,
part, and your eyes play games with you, and you might even see the opposite of what I saw. And the best way to confirm it is to take him for a walk and just look at how much roll there is, right?
Yeah.
How much does he drop down on that lateral and then flop onto the medial?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not much.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. I'll do this a tiny bit. And then do a couple things this way.
Yeah, a couple strokes just off of that lateral heel, just so that he's not pitching medially.
Yeah.
But like I said, who's to say that I have all the answers? Because he was standing square when I got here instead of tucked under. So that's great. And then it's good for you to start assessing them before you trim them and after you trim them. How's he standing? How is he walking? How's he moving, right? Does he spend more time tucked behind the knee 3 days after a trim, or is he better after a trim, more square?
Yeah.
Those are all good things that you start to catch on the more you're...
Yeah, when I'm eating breakfast, I usually look out the window.
Just watch them.
How are they standing?
Yeah. Yeah. You know you don't need that much though, right?
What
would you like?
I was gonna use a brush, but it's okay.
Nah, just smush it with your fingers. You got good gloves on for that. Those thin gloves are great for getting stuff in. That's great. Perfect. And yeah, when you have a central sulcus infection, you surround your collateral grooves so that the bacteria is not just running for the hills, finding a new place to hide. People, I've told this to clients too, if you put it everywhere, it's done, right?
Yeah.
A few treatments and you've improved. If you only put it where you see the thrush, it's bacteria, it's alive, it knows how to survive, and it just wanders about on the foot, I'm sure of it. Good. So you get a good soft tissue treatment, and oh no, you did more on this one. Good. But you're gonna go in with the knife, here it is, and you're gonna check out that central sulcus gently and see where the bottom of that central sulcus truly is, because you saw that lip of infected, dirty frog that I lifted out of there. Yeah. And do it on an angled pitch so that you're opening the central sulcus. Exactly. Yep. And then flip over and go down into
that's so nice. Oh.
And not straight down, get more of an angle.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. And slice down, and I know it's so handy. So you really want to dig out that dirty, scaly, thrushy tissue. You can see, yes, that needs to get opened more. Go for it. That whole section there. Good. And you can smooth it with the rasp, but that's that hairy stuff that's already, exactly, that's already got thrush on it. You have a loop that's sharp the opposite, so you could push or pull. So now the self-cleaning mechanism of the frog is going to function better.
Yeah.
And there's no point in pushing a bunch of artemud into dead, rotten tissue. Clean out the dead stuff, treat it, and then you're going to have a really nice production of healthy tissue in the next 3 weeks. You gotta be careful, because at the back is where you're likely to hit blood if it's too close to your hairline. Good.
Yeah.
Much better. Your toe length is great on this foot. He's got less contraction now than he has had, so you're doing it right. If there was anything to adjust, it might just be smoothing and giving that little bit more of an appearance to the heel, that this isn't a harsh point that he's loading on, so just smoothing that with the fine side.
Yeah.
And this is the thing today, eh?
Yeah.
You've got, it's behind the toe pillar, and it's in front of the quarter right here where they meet.
Yeah.
Good. Erring on the side that he loads down and rolls medially, all right? So you're leaving him support medially. Yeah. When in doubt, lower the lateral side on a horse that just pancakes in. Frog's not bad at all. I might even just rasp it. It's just to make sure that you don't leave these big hard ledges of frog. It's all good. And in the winter, that's prone. Your heel height is quite a bit.
Okay.
Right? Like look at your sole plane and then look at your heel, so it's quite a bit. If you lay your rasp across and you find that the frog is a lot, then it could be that you rasp your frog a bit and then you have a bit of room for heel.
Okay.
It's not a ton, like you don't want to drop him too low, but he has good digital cushion. He has good support. This is where I'd put some watered down artemud.
Okay.
Right there. That's great. You do that another time.
Yeah.
Toe looks good. There's just a little bit of flow lacking, right?
Okay.
Kind of just goes.
Yeah.
So just bring this down a little, and this for sure.
Yeah, that's
high. In front of the heel. Yeah.
First.
Do heel first. Be careful you don't pull your rasp downhill at the heel.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful. Yeah, you want to miss the toe, but not by much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm just
you
doing
just
the
had
frog.
a little too much pitch on it at the moment. Oh, you're doing your frog or
Yeah.
you're doing your heel?
Just
Frog
doing
is
the
okay
frog.
to do that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't
Getting
standing here watching you pitch the heels downhill. You got it.
can go a bit.
Yeah, just keep going. This was so awkward for me the first 50 times. And so the amount of breakover and the degree of breakover at the toe is great for him, but it's excessive for a retracted sole.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I can see that.
But it functions well for him.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it is.
So,
This is pretty good how you've cleaned it up, but there's a lot of height here, right? There's quite a bit. And then that makes this is still too high.
yeah.
So I'm gonna let you hang out while I trim this foot. And I'm gonna just get a little, because there's sort of like the sole, and then there's something going on here where it pokes out, and it's flat in it. This is good at the breakover, but yeah, I'm just gonna...
Do you want me to leave it on here?
No, he can come off of it. I'm just gonna take a peek. What a great little stand. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. And sometimes you almost have to pitch their foot downhill to grab this without knocking their tendons.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're so awesome.
Yeah, Rumi's
So chill. He's so chill with this whole concept. He gets to have a little nap, and there's no bossy pants waiting to move him around just to entertain himself. Isn't that crazy? Just a little dressing. What's going on? Okay, now I'm trading you up. And you'll just see right away. Just the little tweaks. And look at how much of the quarter.
Yeah.
Right? So it's high, low, and then back up again. Let that come down a bit. It's not the height of the sole. You don't need it that low. But it really comes down and follows the shape of the concavity in the bowl.
Okay.
And then you'll reduce your risk of this issue.
Yeah.
Okay? Have we looked at his other hind foot yet? Did we do it? I think we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Because
did.
there's a little bit.
He's done.
Perfect.
Awesome. You want to walk him across the top here?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what he's doing with his pitch and roll of his foot. See, he like takes his time finding his way through lumpy mud, but he's not doing it in a tender way.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to like roll his ankle, right? He wants to stay balanced. You're never going to get rid of all the roll. It's coming from up in the body, up higher. But what you want to be sure of is that when he stands, he can stand and not send the pasterns like this. His pastern shouldn't be sent out. He can get quite straight. In movement, he's going to have that roll. But on this foot, he's still got a little bit of that lean medially. But is this the foot I had you lower on the lateral side? See here?
Yeah.
And then this? See the height? From here back?
Could we take it? Oh,
Take that off
something there.
so that you get weight bearing in here. So you load this a bit more. Because right now, it's going to load here. None of this is going to get stimulated. And we need to artemut it too.
Open that up a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. Just so that it's not that little cavern that catches. And then see this here. That's a skinny little frog. We're not going to pretend it's thick by letting it lay over the collateral groove.
Okay.
When the collateral groove opens up, the heels open up and decontract, it will be wider.
Yeah.
And it's wider than it was because the frog is healthier than it was. Oh yeah, here, you go ahead. You got better gloves on. I got big fat Michelin Man gloves, so I can push with these on.
Yeah.
They're warm, but they're not handy for applications. There we go. Smile now, frog, and then he's done. And then we got the Molly. Yeah, I want to hear about how you've been doing with Molly.
I've realized that, but I learned already from you this morning.
Yeah.
How to do it, but how to cut this bar, like on this side.
Yeah.
With my right hand side pulling towards me, I was like, I don't know how to do this.
And you're like trying to do it with the loop part at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm like,
And the bar is so thick because she's draft, and you're not surrounding it, right? You gotta lay it on an angle, use the side of the knife, and you can push downhill.
yeah, so now I know how to do that.
Good.
So I don't have that on my back, but